Good morning, everybody. It's me, Mitch. Decided to start today with a little happy music in the background. I hope you can hear it while I wait to make sure that I am really live. Yes, I am. Good. We're here. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Mitch. Drink it if you got it. While I wait for people to pour in, we will stop the music. How is everybody this morning? What a gorgeous morning here in Florida, especially in Melbourne. In Orlando, it's in the 50s. I saw on the news this morning, and yes, I did watch a little bit of the news. Somebody accused me of being a news addict. I'm really not. I avoid the news, but I do need to get a little window on the world first thing in the morning. Unfortunately, sometimes it sets my mood, but I don't really like it. I just need to know what's going on, especially if I'm going to talk to other people who know what's going on. I don't want to appear like I'm living in a box. But in Orlando this morning, on the news, they said it was colder in Orlando this morning than in Denver, Colorado. Thank you, cold front. Thank you, cold front. The cold front that's coming through Florida has pretty well guaranteed, these cold fronts, that we are going to be hurricane free, guaranteed for at least 2 weeks. And after that, we're winding down, and very rarely do we get a hurricane in November. We did get one a couple of years ago, but it's good news. If we survive another hurricane season, this one was a rough one, at least towards the end. We'll be happy. So welcome everybody. My coffee cup of the day says, when this cup is empty, it will be time to poop. Highlighting one of my favorite things about coffee, that is the mild laxative the mild laxative effect that it does have. And as somebody who has had a screwed up digestive system my entire life, and finally, because of 2 years on Carnivore, it's actually working like it's supposed to, this has really just having that little bit of coffee in the morning, and I think that maybe the magnesium citrate that's in my electrolyte mix has really made it a non-issue anymore, and something I no longer worry about. And I used to worry about it constantly, always being bloated, constipated. This is a real pleasure, and for me, maybe one of the greatest benefits of actually being a carnivore. So let's see, we've got, is that 81 people so far? Good, the crowd is assembling. There's enough people in here for me to start to talk about things of interest to us, and certainly of interest to me. So warms my heart that you all show up here first thing early in the morning, 8:30. Seems like this time is working out great for both of us, for most of us, and I can't hit it right for everybody, but I do apologize to the people on the West Coast that I don't think it would be great for me to start this any later. That would take me too much into my day when there's so much that I need to get accomplished. one of the things I need to accomplish today is I need to do some shopping. I haven't been out shopping for quite a while. I'm going to miss the markdown meat at Sam's. In order for me to get there in time for that, I would have to take a day off from this live stream, which I'll probably do once in a while. And maybe on those days that I do go shopping at Sam's, I will do this live stream maybe 10 o'clock in the morning here on the East Coast, so that some of the people out on the West Coast, I know it's still 7, but can chime in, because I want them to be able to participate as well. I made some notes today about a few things I want to talk about. I'm not going to take a lot of time, but I do want to talk about some of these things. To kind of get things started and let more and more people chime in. I got a comment yesterday, one comment. And I went into politics a little bit yesterday morning, and I thought that everybody would go nuts. And I only had one comment. And it wasn't really about politics. It was a comment on one of my videos. And this man or woman, I don't know who it was, couldn't tell from the name, said to me, basically, you need to put chapters in your descriptions so I can skip everything and just get to the point. I didn't recognize the user's name. The user has certainly never supported my channel. I never got a coffee from this particular person. I never got a super chat from this particular person. I had never, ever before seen a comment from this particular person. But this particular person just points out to me how screwed up so many of us in the human race are in what we think we're entitled to have other people work and go out of their way and do for us. You know, this person is watching my channel because they want to benefit maybe from some of my knowledge and some of the things that I've learned and some of the work that I've put in to try to get this message out. Yes, they want to do that, but they don't have the patience or the time, because their time is so valuable, to actually listen to the story that I'm trying to tell. They want to get right to the point. I wonder if this particular person, when they're watching a movie, writes a note to the screenwriter and the director of that movie and tells them, please give me a place where I can click to just get to the end of the movie so I don't have to watch all the drivel. Who the hell are these people? Comments like that, I think more than anything, just get my goat. Boy, that sun is just shining right on my face. It's playing havoc with the exposure here, so we're just going to have to put up with that. But who are these people? My answer to this person was one word in capitals, and it said, no. 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 Never. It's a lot of work and time to go ahead and chronicle a video into chapters so that impatient people that are so busy and so important that they don't have time to allow somebody to lay out facts and a story in a meaningful way. They just want to get to the point. That way I only have to watch 10 seconds of your video. Well, if that was the case, I'd make shorts. All my videos would be 20 seconds long, and they would probably all sound the same. They would say, "Hi, this is Mitch. Eat meat. See ya." That would get really boring for most people. And me, as you probably know by now, I'm a verbose kind of guy. I'm a storyteller. I'm an explainer. I'm a teacher. You have to lay a foundation. You have to lay a foundation before you get to the punchline. You have to tell the joke before you get to the punchline. The punchline by itself is meaningless. Meaningless. Just when I think I've rid myself of demanding, self-centered, entitled people, I get a comment like this. Now, it doesn't upset me. It amuses me. It amuses me. And two things happen. A short answer that says no, and where's this button that I hit? So that I don't ever have to see a comment from this people again. And you all know, if you've been with me for a while, that my attitude is, if you don't like the way I do it, just don't watch me. Just go away. Unsubscribe. I don't want you influencing or affecting my life in any small, even tiny way. I don't look for you. I don't want to watch your YouTube videos if you are a YouTuber. Please, please, don't do that. That was amusing, but I thought I'd share it with you. I thought I'd share it with you. Second thing that I wanted to mention is I found it. I found the song, if you want to download it. Sabana Havana. This song here, where did it go? Where did it go? This song. This song. Yesterday, somebody had asked me, where'd I get it? I didn't remember. It's been so long. And I suggested that you Google it. So I was curious. I said, well, wonder what happens when you Google it. So I Googled it. Turns out this is a YouTube music song. And YouTube provides a lot of music for creators to use as background music. Now, there's no chance of a copyright strike if a song is a YouTube song. And there are people who just keep writing and producing these things and giving them, for some reason, to YouTube on their channel because it gets them views. And the particular creator who posts these songs, and it seems like he's posting a new song every day, has like 13,000 subscribers and gets a lot of views on these things and probably makes a living at it. So it's a win-win-win for everybody. And if you Google the term Sabana Havana, you will get right to that YouTube channel where you can actually download this song, I believe, for free if you want it. I was really surprised to see that, and in my spare time, should there be any, I am actually going to peruse some of his other songs, or hers, and see if I can find some equally as cheerful and happy music, because I don't know about you, but I need more of that in my life, So that's that. I did want to announce that Ellen, Scooby the dog, is going to be a guest on my live stream this Saturday morning, unless something comes up which gets in the way, and that can't happen. So I hope you all tune in. And Ellen's a member of the private community. I'll probably see her in our private community live stream tonight. And the community is growing happy to see that, and I'm looking forward to it. One of my favorite times of the week is getting together with my friends on the private community live stream. And Ellen's going to be here with me Saturday morning. I don't know if it'll be for the whole thing or for a short little visit. That'll be up to her. She's welcome as long as she wants to stay. And you're all welcome to join both of us while we have our morning coffee together. I'm really looking forward to that. So thank you, Ellen, for volunteering. Peter, Papa Carnivore, has also emailed me and said he would love to do this, and I'm going to have Peter on. I haven't set a date with him yet, but we're going to have Peter on, and anybody else. You don't have to be a member of my private community. Anybody that enjoys joining me every morning for a cup of coffee is welcome to come on here, be a guest, introduce yourself, let us meet you, tell us your story of being successful, practicing this way of life. It's incredible, and sharing those stories I think is important. And as long as I'm going to do this pretty much every morning, I want to try. I think this might help keep it interesting, so it's just not me pontificating and talking about it. I think that's about it, so let me start to say hello to people that are here. And I've rearranged things a little bit this morning, so I'm able to get myself a little closer to this tablet, so I don't have to keep doing this all the time. I put it in dark mode, believe it or not. It was in the light mode, which makes everything black on the screen and makes the text in white, so I can almost read with my regular glasses the comments now without having to squint, lean forward. I know I have a pretty face, but sometimes you get a little too close. None of us are perfect when you get real close. So I have my little stylus here, which I think will be able to let me tap these things like this. Come on. Why didn't it show up? It's supposed to show up. There it is. Okay, I had to think about it for a while. I can tap the screen now without doing this and making the picture rock. So let's see. We start out with Terry. Terry says, if I'm not here at the beginning, just want to say good morning, Mitch, and to the chicken tenders. So she thinks I'm still going to have to go up to my reading glasses, bifocals occasionally, but I think this is better. She says we're all chicken tenders. Yesterday she called us stew meat. I don't know, Terry. But good to see you, And we have Mark Booz is here, says good morning. Tina Schweikerath says good morning, Mitch. Just trying to keep my mouth shut doing carnivore. Yeah, hard to do it. Gets me in trouble everywhere. We all, Tina, have learned that lesson. Honest to God, we've all learned that lesson the hard way. People start to treat us like we have leprosy when they see us coming. And they say to each other, whatever you do, you see that guy over there? See that bald-headed old fart? Whatever you do, don't say anything that might even lead or start to lead to a conversation about health. And for God's sakes, do not eat a donut in front of him. And you reach a point where you say, you know what, that is not how I want people to treat me when I happen to show up. So we also have, I have to get used to using this thing. Michael Seeley, father of United Carnivore, is here. Good to see you. And Steve Rogers is here. Captain America, good morning, Mitch. I'm presently reading Casey Means' book, Good Energy. That's a terrific book. I didn't read it. I don't read the books from any of these people. I listen to them talk, I watch their podcasts. I watch their interviews as guests on other people's podcasts. And they pretty well summarize what's in an entire book. I don't have the time to read all of these books, but that doesn't mean that I wouldn't, and I have read a lot of books over the years, including the first one that Robert Atkins wrote in 1972. And I bought it when it first came out and read it a number of times. And that got me started at least understanding that low carb is the way to go. And here we have Turamir is here. How you doing, Turamir? This is a little better. Maybe I need to get my other reading glasses to do this. I'll try that tomorrow. Hey, Mitch, Terry saying hi to everybody. And now we have Turamir says, I know I'm and Steve Rogers again, and this is something I need to get used to again. Steve Rogers, Papa Carnivore is here. How you doing? And Ellen is here. Good to see you, Ellen. Looking forward to Saturday morning, and I will see you tonight. Ellen saying hi to everybody. Papa Carnivore. Papa Carnivore, Papa Carnivore. Man, Peter, you are prolific in the chat, no doubt about it. Richard Williams is here. How you doing? Good morning, everyone. Coffee's on, the smell of wood burning on the stove. Life is good in the woods, and those woods are in Copper Hill, Tennessee. And let's see who else we got. We got Lori Weitzel's here. Hiya, Lori. How you doing, sweetie? Good to see you. Good morning, Mitch. Good morning. Me and my piping hot coffee are ready to start this day, or slay this day, she says. Yeah, terrific, terrific. And chatting back and forth. Yeah, I still have to lean forward here. I need to get those other glasses. I can almost read it, but yesterday I mispronounced somebody's name. I felt very bad about that because I just spurted out what it appeared to me right off the bat, and I should have known better. Ellen, Valerie Thompson, good morning. All looking forward to this morning with Mitch chat, because there is no water class today here in Florida, being that it's only 53 degrees and it's so cold I'm staying home and get to watch this. Well, there was a benefit at least to this colder morning. Now over here on the coast, because of the wind blowing across the warmer water of the ocean, we're 68, 70 degrees. It's perfectly comfortable out here. Perfectly comfortable. And Sheriff CB Carmack is here. Good to see you. Good morning, Mitch. Well, get at it, man. Hasn't had the time to fix his coffee yet. Ellen and Mark Booze and Tina Schweikerath. Hiya, Tina. Good to see you. Good morning to everyone, she says. You guys are becoming great friends, chatting back and forth. Terry Wilson is here. Hiya, Terry. Good morning, Mitch and company of carnivores. Maybe if I put my glasses up higher, I wouldn't have to tilt my head back so much. Oh, the things you got to go through when you get old, you know. What can I say? BMAT is here. How you doing? BMAT says good morning. Good morning to you. And maybe if I move this thing a little closer to me, let me do that. It'll make it a little bigger, but it'll enable me to maybe read this stuff a little better. And I promise when I'm done reading all this stuff, let me adjust this a little bit. You guys, tonight on the live stream, I want to show you some photographs of this setup I got out here. And it's true to form for me. I overcomplicate everything, trying to make it seem more and more like professional show business. and the lengths I go through to try to keep improving my setup. So you'll see a lot less of this when I'm trying to read from the computer screen. And I like to do it from the tablet because that gives me the opportunity that I don't have with my cell phone. Where is my cell phone? There it is. I don't have with my cell phone, because on my cell phone I can see the where is it? Live chat. There it is. I can see and read the chat from my cell phone, but I can't from my phone. I can't put it up on the screen. I can't put it up on the screen. And at least initially, when I want to say hi to everybody and acknowledge that you're here, I like to be able to put it up on the screen. I know that everybody likes to see their name in lights. Absolutely, absolutely. That's why a lot of people do super chats. And I like super chats, just saying. Where were we? We were at Sandra McDonald is here, says, evening all. Sandra is in Australia, and yes, it's evening. But it's great. It's great that the people down under can watch this too. And Mark C. is here. Hi, Mark. Good to see you. Good morning, Mitch and chat friends. Moran is here. Moran from across the pond over there in Europe. And I get a lot of people from Europe visiting me on this live stream. It's great. It's great. Got almost 150 of you now. 150 of what I think are some of the smartest people on the planet Earth. And Wanda Gerling. Hi, Wanda. Good morning, Mitch and everyone. Hope all are having a wonderful day. Yes, yes. So far, so good. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. And we have Dixie. Made it for a live. Woohoo. Yes. Good to see you. Good morning, Dixie. Good morning. And Richard, where are you today? You didn't tell us. Not sleeping today. Richard CDL Driver. Good morning. And we have Marcy Buden. Hey, Marcy, how you doing? Good morning to you. And Bella is here. Bella, good afternoon, Mitch. You are live. Yeah. On the right side of, on the right side of the green, they say. You know, woke up this morning and yes, I was still alive. I love doing these live streams. Jeff Johnson. Top of the morning to you, Mitch. Top of the morning to you, my friend. Thank you, Jeff. And Boyd Lamb is here. Hi, Boyd. Randy Weichel is here. How you doing, my friend? And Lori Weitzel. Poop talk already. Well, you know, we are talking about carnivore here, and whether fortunately or unfortunately, that seems to be a major topic of discussion. Certainly one of the best gauges of whether you're doing carnivore properly. How much fat you're getting. Very important for that. Booby Goats, how you doing? Good morning. Good chilly morning from Tennessee. Yes, it is. It is chilly. And we have Sammy Shuford, how you doing? First cup down the hatch. Good for you. And Anthony Zarone or Zarcone, how you doing? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. My Cummage. Kevin in Texas here. Hi, Kevin. I will be having my coffee in about 30 minutes. Good for you. Good for you, and I hope that you enjoy it. I hope that you enjoy it. And who else do we have here? We have Gregory Smith. Hi, Gregory. All is well this morning. All is well this morning. And I'm going to try to avoid talking about politics. I will say if none of you saw it yesterday, there was an interview on Fox News which was very telling. Find a replay of it if you haven't watched it. That's all I'm going to say about that. 32, Richard CDL driver says, it's 32 degrees in Illinois. Yes, it is the middle of October. The seasons are beginning to change. Anthony Zarconi is here. How you doing? I gotta make the coffee. I'm glad so many people are like me and if you enjoy coffee, especially black coffee or coffee with just maybe a little heavy cream in it or butter, to not give it up if it means that much to you. I don't think. I think it makes it easier when you are able to have a few things that you enjoy, even if the purists out there are telling you you're not a real carnivore. Just picture the mental image of a double-barreled middle finger. That's what's going through my mind right now to those people. Felix is here. Hiya, Felix. Good morning, Mitch, boys and girls. And I hope that I'm not shaking the screen using this little stylus here to scroll through the chat. And we have Marcia Bode says, I no longer watch the fake news. I try to avoid broadcast news, but I do want to catch the local news. And I do watch the Fox affiliate here in Orlando in the morning and try to just get past the silliness and the propaganda and find out, what the weather's going to be. If anything affecting this community where I live is important. Any major road closures of interstates, and that happens occasionally here, right outside my house, that I need to know about before I venture out on the highway. Those things I just want to know. William McCartney. Hi, William. Morning, Lori. Related and infamous Whitesville of Pennsylvania, West Virginia. I think spelling of last name is different. That was not something that I need to be privy to. People are still welcoming. Gregory Smith, time for my daily El Rey del Mundo Oscuro 6x60. Love them with coffee. My friend. I think for 10 years, back when I had my computer business, the only cigar that I smoked, and I haven't even thought about them in so long, were the El Rey del Mundo, Robusto Supremo, and Robusto Largos that came 22 a box with white tissue paper around them. And I used to smoke the big ones most of the time, but I usually kept some Robustos around when I didn't have the time for a 2-hour smoke. And that's the thing about smoking cigars. It's not like cigarettes. And every cigar smoker out there, and it just makes my day when I hear that I'm not alone, that I'm not the only health conscious person, not the only carnivore out there who drinks coffee and puffs on a cigar. And I use the term puff on a cigar because it's different than smoking. When people ask me if I'm a smoker, I generally say no. Smoking to me means inhaling smoke into your lungs. We don't do that. But it makes me happy. It makes me feel that I stand out less, and it makes me feel accepted. And that means a lot to me. And that's kind of why I do this, and kind of why I've tried to be in your face with it, just so I know that I have a group of non-judgmental friends joining me, not people that just want to find fault with everything that I do. I don't need to be around those people. None of us do. So, Gregory, enjoy that El Rey del Mundo. They're great cigars. And now you got me thinking, I probably need to order a box of those things. I'm afraid. I loved them, especially the Maduros. Boy, they were the best Maduro dark, flavorful, medium-bodied cigars I'd ever smoked. That'd be very meaningful to Gregory. So thank you for coming in, and thanks for those memories, man. I appreciate it. We have Total Joe. It's beautiful here in Denver. I'll bet. Pretty city, Denver. Aunt B has joined us. Hi, Aunt B. How you doing? And what time are we up to? 2 minutes. All of that chatting had went on before the stream was 2 minutes in, so I am really falling behind, but I do want to say hi to people. So hi, Aunt B. Always good to see you. We have Twin Brook Acres. Greetings all. We are getting a nice cooler day here in Arizona. Well, that's a break. Glad to see that. Scooby, Terry Wilson, 46 degrees in Pensacola. Satya's here. Hiya, Satya, how you doing? Good morning, friends, she says. Who else didn't I say hi to? Here's one. Bryce Hatch. Hello, Mitch and everybody from Arizona. Hello to you and meatitudes. Like that. Good morning, everybody. Matt Thompson is here, says good morning, Mitch. Good to see you. Peter chimed in, says, chilly down here in Florida, in the low 70s and windy. Yeah, it's breezy here, but bright and sunny. We're supposed to have a clear day. High here in Central Florida, high of 75, which is normal for December. So, to all you global warming believers, it's just weather, it changes. Enough said about that. That's another subject I could go off on for days. Don't want to bore you with that. We have Bella here. Hiya, Bella. 61 degrees in England, warmer than yesterday. Well, for you people over there, if the sun shines and it's not raining and it's fairly warm, that's great weather. You are at the worst place in the Gulf Stream or the jet stream that there could possibly be, being as far north as you are, with all of that moist air, cool moist air always coming your way, and giving you all that rain that you have. Seattle, in our country, has pretty much the same problem. I remember an old Bill Cosby joke. He says, in Seattle it rains at least 365 days every year. And I've been in Seattle a couple times, and every time I was there it rained constantly. I don't know if I could live there because of A, the weather, and B, even more importantly, their politics. Sorry about that. Susan Courtney's here. Hi, Susan. Good to see you. Good morning from southwestern Ontario, Canada. Wow, look at all these people. New people. Carrie Van Boxel. Hope I got that right. Good morning, Mitch and others around the world from New Zealand. 1:30 a.m. in the morning here. Holy cow. 1:30 a.m. in New Zealand. That's right. You're 15 hours or more ahead of us. Wow, I think. One of these days I'll actually get all of the time zones correct between Australia and New Zealand, and the east and west parts of Australia. Who is this? Harley Camper is here. Good morning, Mitch. Going to listen while I walk. Both good things. Catfish. I love that name, Catfish. Good morning, my new friend. I'm ready for you to start. I have started, and I'm finally getting to you. And it's 10 after 9 already. Holy cow, where did the time go? Where did the time go? I'm still saying hi to people. I haven't seen any questions yet in the early chat. But the chat is enormous. I have 158 people here today. There's Scooby chiming in. Aunt B says to me, Mitch, old guy Carnivore, good stinking morning to you. I can always count on you, B. Always count on you to show taste and class. A woman after my own heart. Thank you, B. I love you. I love you. And Scooby says, you could take a day off to shop, bitch. Oh, that's great. Yeah, this is all from way back. And I do want to make sure that I do like to say hi to everybody, but there's a lot of everybody's here. Holy cow. Susan Courtney is here waving at us. And I think I need to maybe start looking at the later chat to see what topics you're talking about, to see if there isn't something that I actually want to discuss here. But so far, I'm having a good time. And the one thing that I forgot, that I missed, how could I? The one thing that you're all waiting for. The one thing. That makes this a total and complete morning coffee with yours truly. The one thing. So, excuse me while I light my cigar. I love it. I need to figure out a way to get the lighter to trigger the start of the music. May not be exactly the same, may not make the lighter appear to be magical, but I do love that music. I do love that music. Oh man, it doesn't. I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry. For me, I don't know how to tell you this. It just doesn't get any better than this. Sitting here with my friends on a gorgeous morning here in Florida, having morning coffee, not being aggravated about anything in particular yet, puffing on a cigar. Life is good. Life is good. Everything else that we worry about, everything that aggravates us, everything that concerns us, pales in comparison to those moments in time when you actually sit back with a smile on your face and feel content. I think that's the most important thing in life. I think that's what we want life to be. We seek and search out happiness. That's what, to most of us, the meaning of life is. I know I philosophize sometimes, but I think these are important things to recognize. We work so hard. We suffer so much. We endure so much, so many tragedies, so much pain. We struggle, we battle, financial, health, geopolitical issues. Just trying to get by, feeding ourselves. And just having tons of money, because I've been in both places, and I can tell you there's no difference in the number of times or the amount of time where you can actually sit back and say, life is good. In fact, I can tell you from personal experience, a personal experience that many people have never had and can't speak to, that most people see wealthy people and envy them and say to themselves, man, if I only had all of that, I could be happy. But I can't be happy. And that's sad. And that's the materialistic view that's been jammed down our throat by all the advertising, all the propaganda telling you that you need to wear the right clothes, you need to live in the biggest house, you need to drive the right car, you need to have your ego stroked every day, you need to feel that people envy you and people are looking up to you. And you fight and sacrifice so that you can be the guy with the most toys who wins when he dies. I've been there. I had those faults. I had the same mindset. I was competing every day, climbing to be the most admired, the most envied. And I had, at that time in my life, probably the least amount of these moments where I could sit back, just sigh, be content, and say to myself, life is good. And when I lost everything, and I did lose everything, and most of you are here know my story, I lost everything 20 years ago. And lived through 10 years of near suicidal depression, mourning what I had lost, being the consummate victim, not caring too much about my health, bitter, there weren't any, not one, not a single moment where I sat back, smiled, content, and said, life is good. Life is good. And then I, with the help of my children, began to pull myself out of my funk. My kids had to remind me how strong I was, all their lives watching me succeed in business, take care of my health. They had to remind me I was too good to wallow in all this self-pity. But when you're in that funk, you're in that funk, and that funk is who you are and what controls you. And that's why people go to therapy. Unfortunately, most of these therapists that claim to be able to help are more screwed up than their patients. I've tried that. It didn't take me long to recognize that this guy was trying to give me advice. His life was more screwed up than my own life. Reminds me of a joke, an old joke. There's a lot of wisdom in old jokes. And for those of you who know who Buddy Hackett was, you'll understand why I loved that guy. He's a brilliant comedian. And he tells a joke. He tells a joke about being at a crap table. Being at a crap table in Las Vegas, losing his ass. And he goes into the men's room, and he's standing there at a urinal. And the guy next to him, at the urinal next to him, starts to talk to him about gambling. And he starts to give him advice. He starts to tell him, trying to teach him how money management is so important and what you need to do, and if you need to bet, and then if you lose, you need to double down. If you lose, you need to double down again. And Buddy Hackett is standing there going, and then he says, I looked over at this guy. He looked homeless. He had no shoes. He says, and I'm taking gambling advice from this guy? That's how I felt on a psychologist or psychiatrist's couch. And I came out of this funk. And I started to try, with no money, to start earning some money again. I'm trying to live on Social Security. You can't do that. I'm already in my late 60s, too old to fit into this society, too old to learn a new trade, too old to go out and apply for jobs for anything better than a Walmart greeter. So I took my talents and I started doing computer work for my daughter's company, public relations. I started to earn a little money, supplement my Social Security. I started to get my self-confidence back, which is back better than it ever was right now. I started to not take shit from people. I started to be proud of myself again. And these moments where I could sit back and smile and puff on a cigar and truly say to myself, you know, life is good. Something I couldn't do or I never felt that feeling of contentment when I had big houses, a yacht, my own airplanes, fancy cars, and all of that obligation and pressure to keep going and keep juggling all that so it didn't come crashing down, which it eventually did through these things that happen in life that we can't control, no matter how much we plan for it. No more than you can control how much damage a hurricane is going to do. It's a force of nature. Well, we have those forces in our economies too, and we've all seen the crashes and the real estate crisis and all those things, and that is an economic tsunami, and I don't care how good a businessman you are, if you're exposed, you're gonna drown. And that happened to me. Happens to most people in business. So if nothing else, and you take away nothing else from this little message of mine today, let's call this maybe more of a motivational talk based on what I've experienced and what I've learned, and can only be learned. It can only be learned by having been there. Nobody can know what it's like to go through these trials of life unless they have been there. Oh, when people tell us about it, we say, oh man, I understand, I feel for you. No, you don't. You can't feel for somebody no more than you can feel for a young parent who loses a child. You think you can imagine what it might be like to lose a child. You can't. You can't. Certain things can only be experienced and learned firsthand. The rest of it is empathy, maybe, sympathy, but you can't know. So you can't know what it was like for me to be on top of the world financially, with all the trappings and all the toys and plenty of money and the vacations and all that stuff, and yet not really happy, getting tired of just running on the treadmill. And now, with no money, or just enough money to get by, a modest modular home in what I like to refer to as an upscale trailer park here in Florida, a few ways to earn a few extra bucks. For the first time in my life at age 77 and a half, I actually have more times where I can sit down and smile, sigh, puff on the cigar, and say, life is good. I've discovered, for me, my real priorities. And it's not what other people think about me. It's not showing off. It's being proud of who I am, trying to be a good person, trying to help people, doing this YouTube thing, which can be aggravating as hell sometimes, but the upsides of it still far outweigh the downsides, and I'm still here, and I'm going to keep going. And if I can impart nothing more than that to you this morning, look inside yourself and see if there isn't something in anything that I've just said that you haven't been able to say, yeah, Mitch, I can identify with that. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. And chalk it up, if nothing else, to the fact that I'm not smarter than you are. But for most of you, I've just been at it longer. And in the final analysis, just time in the game accounts for, I think, more than most anything else. And I'll leave it at that, and I hope that was meaningful. And if it wasn't meaningful to you and you clicked away, which I don't think you have, then you may have a charmed life. And in that respect, I envy you. I envy you. Well, it's coming up on 5 minutes till the end here. I don't know where these things go. I'm having a hard time saying what's my favorite part of being a YouTuber now. It's not making and editing videos, which I need to do to keep the channel going, but it's doing these live streams. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom of the chat, and I'm going to address maybe the last 5 or 10 minutes before I say goodbye to you, and you can start saying goodbye to each other until tomorrow morning, where I'll be back. And if I keep getting attendance like this, because it is increasing, you'll have a hard time keeping me away. I think this is a great vehicle. There's only, really one other person in our community that does this on a regular basis, and that's Robert Kiltz. And I have to credit Kiltzy for even giving me the idea that something like this was even possible, even though I'm not going to do it at 5 o'clock in the morning. But it just kind of evolved out of this Monday morning rant thing that I started doing about 6 months ago, and I think this is much better, and I love it. I'm going to keep trying to make it smoother, more professional, and more interesting every morning. Not saying I won't have an off morning one morning, but that happens. And I was gratified to see that yesterday, after about 10 or 15 minutes of actually talking politics, that I think 98% of you actually agree with me. And when I looked at the analytics from yesterday morning's live stream, I only lost 2 subscribers right at the very beginning. 2 of them, which surprised the hell out of me. I expected to have lost 20 of you. That tells me that I am indeed talking to an audience of realistic, smart people that are just tired of propaganda and somebody trying to pull the wool over their eyes with stupidity that has to be obvious to anybody that has any kind of ability to think and common sense. And I think that's what we have here. I think we have a group of people that has the ability to think, reason, understands logic, and has common sense. And it's a privilege, my friends, to be here with you. It's a privilege. At the end of the chat, you all are talking to each other. Papa Carnivore: I also was quite wealthy and lost it all via a nasty divorce and corporate job layoff about 12 years ago. I understand, Peter, but I am so much happier now living a modest lifestyle. Material things don't make me happy anymore. It's what I said. You have to go through it to really understand. I'm sure Peter hung on every word I was saying and was going, oh man, I know what he's saying. I've been there. I can understand that. And on top of the ridiculous business failure, I also had the nasty divorce at the same time. It was a double whammy. Not only was I losing everything, but I was, for all intents and purposes, made homeless by that divorce. The most important thing to me at my age right now is being healthy, pain-free, clear-minded, and free of the addiction to stuff my face full of poison. Those are my priorities right now. Meet Beth Med says, wow, talk about a fall from grace. At least now you are a hero in my mind. Thank you. That means more than you can imagine. More than you can imagine to me. Catfish says, I lost a child. She was 22, cancer. My deepest sympathies, my dear. I can say I can only imagine what that must be like, but there's no way I could know. The closest I could come would be to imagine and play out in my mind if I lost one of my children. And you're saying hi to each other, DB Cooper. Hey, DB Cooper chimed in, good morning from Sweden. Sorry, man, you're hitting this at the end, but watch the replay. I think this was a good live stream. Meet Beth Med, divorce sucks. Yes. Yes, it does. It's why I've been a bachelor for 20 years. Even though I've had an opportunity to marry some what appeared to be wonderful women, I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I've done it twice. Reinforces, and I envy these people that have been married for 50 years and they're so happy. They're the luckiest people in the world if they found one that they could spend a life with. Most don't. Now you're talking about losing children. I watched Kilts on Instagram last night, says Tammy Pitarch. So let's get down to the bottom of it. Gregory Smith, I don't think I can find it to put up on screen, but gave me a super sticker with a cup of coffee for $3.99. Thank you so much, Gregory. I always appreciate those things and I like to acknowledge them. If I missed anybody else's super chat, it's been a long stream of chat and I haven't been able to go through all of it. So Naomi Jones chimed in. Let me end this by just saying how much I appreciate you all being here. I don't want to get in the habit of having this run over because it can very easily run over. I'm going to play a little happy traveling music here. Have one more sip of my slightly cold coffee. Hoping you enjoyed this. We still have 155 people hanging in there. That, my friends, is the one indicator that matters. That matters. How many of you have stuck around till the finale? And I thank you for that. So, with that being said, my friends, I'm going to say goodbye. To all of you in the private community, join me tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, for my next afternoon live stream, Saturday at 3 p.m. And come hell or high water, I'll be back here tomorrow morning at 8:30. Until then, take the rest of the day off and eat meat.